Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Serendipity. It says the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. That is what happened to me recently. About a month ago, we went to Hawaii filming some stuff with the Insta360 X3. 2 videos from that trip coming very soon. But right before that trip, I had received an email that got totally lost in my email inbox. But 4 days before we left for Hawaii, Gmail bumped it to the top of my inbox. Serendipity. Because in that email, it was all about an accessory for the Insta360 X3. And at the bottom, it said, designed with aloha in Hawaii. So I immediately reached out to Steven. Steven is who emailed me. And I said, dude, can we hop on the phone real quick? Because we are coming to Hawaii in 4 days. And when we got on the phone, I said, hey, we are coming to Maui. And he said, we are on Maui. And I said, well, that's awesome because we're staying in Kihei. And he said, we're in Kihei. And yeah, so we met up with Steven to get his accessory part in Maui, in Kihei. Our trip was already planned. He had emailed me, Gmail bumped it. Serendipity. But long story short, I met up with Steven. He brought his co-founder, Martin. We met at this place called South Maui Gardens in Kihei. It's amazing. And they made this and this. This being a way to finally mount the DJI wireless mic receiver to the X3, and this being like a way cooler way to mount the Rode wireless mic system to the X3. This piece actually, this might be like the ultimate wireless mic solution for the X3. So first up, why would we use a wireless mic system with the X3? The microphones in the X3 are actually pretty dang good, like especially at arm's length as you're kind of cruising around talking to the camera, it sounds pretty good. But the action cameras in general are going to break one of the most basic rules of audio, and that is that the closer the microphone is to your mouth, the better or more isolated your voice will sound compared to the background noise. So when I'm nice and close to the camera, you don't hear as much background noise. But if I get way back here, which is what we're trying to do with action cameras, gotta hold them out as far as we can, get them as far away from us to get this really cool wide shot. Now the microphone and the camera are very far away from my mouth. And when you do that, you hear a lot more background noise compared to my mouth. But if I have a wireless mic system on, I've now detached the microphone from the camera, so I can put the camera way over there and the microphone stays here right next to my mouth. It stays super close to my mouth, even if I'm super far from the camera, even if I turn away from the camera and look the other direction. No matter where I go in relation to the camera, the microphone is separated from the camera and it stays a perfect distance away from my mouth so that I can talk to the camera and you get my audio without having so much background noise. And this is true of all microphones, by the way. Like, this isn't just for little cameras, it's for big cameras too. See, I keep my microphone on a boom up here. There's an extension cable that goes all the way back to my camera. So instead of having my microphone on top of my camera, I put the microphone up here as close to my mouth as possible. And in this shot right here, I could do this. From my mouth to the microphone is only that far. Okay, so that's the why. What's already out there on the market? You've probably seen this guy if you have an X3. This is the Ulanzi PT20. And this piece just goes onto your invisible selfie stick, and then you have enough thread sticking through there that you can now mount it into your camera. And boom, I now have a spot to mount the Rode wireless receiver. Clips in just like that, and now it stays within that stitch line. Now you do still need to pick up the Insta360 audio adapter, which comes with a little cable here. This guy pops up here. We take this door off, and voila, this is kind of the audio system so that you can hook the Rode system into the Insta360. And again, see, it stays perfectly in the stitch line. But for people that went out there and they picked up the DJI wireless mic system, the receiver from here does not fit on the PT20. And I know a whole bunch of people that are using the DJI system. If you click this guy on here, see it sticks out quite a bit, and it is not locked in place in any way. You can see how the clip isn't actually on there, and if you bump it at all, it just pops right off. So that's a real problem. Well, these guys came along and they created this right here is the Xmount360 DJI Mic Receiver Mount. And you can see on there, it's not using a clip, it's actually using the piece that mounts the receiver. If you know this mic system, you know that this little clippy bit can pull off and you can put the USB-C mount bit in there, you can put the lightning mount bit in there, but now this piece actually mounts directly to it. Oh, that's so slick. So now when we do the same thing, we put the screw bit through there, we put this up into our camera, and we use the cable that Xmount360 sends, and boom, we now have a mount for the DJI wireless mics for the X3. They're the only ones that are making a mount for the DJI mic, which seems crazy because I know how many of you have the DJI wireless system, and before these guys, there was no mount system for the DJI to the X3. Now, one other little clever bit on here is that the clip piece, like the piece that's holding the mic in place, it also goes up underneath the audio adapter. So the audio adapter is now even giving all of it more structure and more support because it's mounted underneath. It just barely goes underneath the audio adapter and holds all of that in place. So if instead of the Rode mic, you're a DJI mic person, you now have an audio solution to use with your X3. And again, like, it's not mounted via a clip, it's mounted onto the clip. So like, look at how perfectly that fits in the stitch line. Like, you don't see it at all. You can now run around doing wireless mic stuff with your X3, but they did one more clever bit, and they came out with this piece, and this piece makes using the Rode mic even better with the X3 than what was out there, the PT20. Again, like I said, like this kind of makes the ultimate X3 audio kit. Before I tell you about their second mount, let me take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. If you don't already know about Squarespace, they are the all-in-one website building platform where I've hosted my professional photography website for over 10 years now. Now, the reason that I first signed up with Squarespace, like way back in the day, was because of how easy it was to build a website on Squarespace. Take one of their super professionally designed templates and just customize it with your photos, your information, and boom, you've got a super dope website. And all these years later, even that part has become more simple and more streamlined with their new Fluid Engine design system. It's just drag and drop. Like, you can do pretty much anything to customize your website to your business's needs, or that little side project that you got going and you're like, I just want a super dope website for this thing. It is incredibly easy to hop over to squarespace.com, click the link in the description, go over there, sign up for a totally free trial, get one of their templates, go start customizing it during that free trial. Like get your website pretty much done during the free trial, and when you're ready to go live, use code David Manning for 10% off at checkout. I have used Squarespace for so long. My wife's band's website is on Squarespace. Our neighbors are on Squarespace. Pretty much everyone that I know that's building websites these days does it through Squarespace because it's so easy to build a website, but then Squarespace takes care of all that back-end stuff, so you do not have to worry about it. Again, go to the first thing in the description, squarespace.com, use code David Manning for 10% off at checkout. All right, let's take a look at the Xmount360 Pro. This is their Pro mount for the Rode wireless system. And you can see, like, right off the bat, like, quite a bit longer and a little taller than the Ulanzi bit, and that's for a reason. Because with this piece, we're not using the normal invisible selfie stick. This is designed to be used with Insta360's powered selfie stick. This powered selfie stick from Insta360, it has USB-C ports on both sides of kind of this mounty bit, and those extend out as the pole extends out, so I can walk around with this thing extended, plugged in to my camera, and I am charging my camera on the go. This thing, I don't know that I've even made a video about this thing, but this thing is dope for the X3. So if instead of the PT20, we bring in the Xmount Pro, put that in place, get this all hooked up. So we now have the Xmount360 Pro on there. I have my audio adapter. I'm gonna put the cables on first because I've kind of found that's easier. So a USB-C cable coming off the bottom that came with this mount. I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in, and you'll see right away, my X3 is now charging from this battery handle. Then gonna put the Rode Wireless Pro receiver on there, that locks in place. And then I'm gonna do the audio cable from the audio adapter into the Rode receiver, and check. Look at this system. It looks like a lot going on right now, but I now have wireless audio from my microphone into my camera while I'm still able to charge from the Insta360 powered selfie stick. And look how seamlessly that all fits into the stitched line. You cannot see this setup while you're filming with this camera. So you're walking around with this thing extended out in front of you, you can film just like this. You can do anything that you want, and you are wirelessly beaming audio from your microphone into your camera, whether you put it behind you and go for a walk, whether you put it out in front of you, maybe you're snowboarding and you want to talk to the camera. This does make the camera not waterproof. Remember that if you put the audio adapter on there, your X3 is no longer waterproof, so maybe snowboarding's not a great idea. But for something like skateboarding, I could be skateboarding around, have this wireless mic with a lav hooked into my helmet like I normally have it, beaming audio into my X3 that is way out in front of me, and I am be able to power my X3 this whole way so I don't have to swap batteries so often. And because this is the Wireless Pro from Rode, all Rode wireless systems, the receivers will fit in here, but because this is the Pro, this is recording 32-bit internal to here. So if I have any sort of cutouts with this, with beaming to the X3, like maybe I walk behind something, I go too far away from my camera, anything like that, I have a cutout, I have the audio on here, and it's 32-bit float. Like I said, this right here might be the ultimate audio solution for the Insta360 X3. The X3 is still my favorite action camera that is out there. I freaking love this camera, and now to have this good of audio beaming straight into this camera makes life a whole lot easier. I can get the camera as far away from myself as I want, and again, because I've separated the microphone and the camera, the microphone can stay nice and close to my mouth. Xmount360 PRO, guys, so dang clever. Steven and Martin, you guys made something super clever. Both this thing, like no one else is making a DJI mic transmitter holder, receiver holder. Yeah, how that clips on is just so dang clever. I love that they did that. This, by the way, not 3D printed. It's something called multi-jet fusion technology, which I don't know what that means, but I do know that makes this piece flexible, but super strong and very lightweight. It feels like nothing I've felt before, really. Multi-jet fusion. Again, thank you, Steven, thank you, Martin, for hooking this up. This has kind of changed how I use this camera now because I can have it powered for so long. And yeah, we're coming back to Maui in March. Hopefully we get to see you guys in March. Anyone else, if you guys have questions, throw them in the comments down below. I will go in there and answer questions. Anything that I can't answer to you guys, I'll have them go down there and answer. I'll just hit them up and be like, hey, go to my comment section and answer people's questions. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Hang on tight, there's another big one. Another big one. We're getting swept away.